قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فضلت على الأنبياء بست وأعطيت جوامع الكلم ونصرت بالرعب وحلت لي الغنائم وجعلت من الأرض طهورا ومسجدا وأرسلت إلى الخلق كافة وختم بي النبيون. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki 6 şeyde diğer peygamberin daha üstün kılındım.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that there are 6 key features which make me superior to the previous prophets.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem bu 6 şey çok şeyler var daha üstünlüğü peygamber başka peygamberler var ama bu
There are of course many more features that make our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, most distinguished, and that make him superior to the prophets that came before him. But our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, in this hadith highlights 6 of these features.
6 şeyleri zikrediyor burada. Cevamil kelim az sözle çok şey ifade etme kabiliyeti.
And one of these features, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, is that the capability and the ability to express many things in just a few words. That's a special feature of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him.
Bana verildi. Yani Peygamber Efendimiz'in hadisi küçük olur ama onun binlerce cilt kitap yazılır.
So as we look at the sayings of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, as we read the hadith, these sayings, they're short, they're succinct in their way of formulation, but they are the foundational source of thousands of works to emerge and literature to be written about.
İnsanlar ondan hikmet çıkarır, mavza çıkarır.
And there are so many meanings, wisdom, and knowledge to obtain, to be obtained from just a single saying of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him.
Çıkarır. O küçük bir şeyle o Allah Azze ve Celle Peygamber Efendimiz'e nasip etmiyor.
And this is a very special characteristic of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, that Allah Almighty has given him the eloquency to be able to express so many things with just a few words and to convey so many meanings and wisdom in just a succinct way of expression.
Düşmanların kalbine korku örmekle bana yardım edildi.
And moreover, our beloved Prophet then highlights a second feature, which is my enemies, Allah Almighty supports me by striking my enemies with fear.
Peygamber bir savaşa çıkacağı vakit o çıkmadan önce karşıdaki düşman kalplerine korku veriliyor.
So when our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, would make a campaign, would wage war, the enemies, even before fighting, would be struck with fears.
Daha gelmeden moralleri bozulmuş olur.
Even before the enemies approached, they would be struck by fear and they would lose their morale.
Sıfıraymış oluyor. Ondan sonra Allah Peygamber Efendimiz'e nusret veriyor.
And their morale would go down to zero, and then Allah Almighty would send His divine support to aid our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, during war.
Ganimet malları ümmetler içerisinde sadece bana helal kılındı. Daha Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem önceki şeyde ganimet olmaz. Onları bir yere konurdu. Ganimetler toplanır.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, states another feature. He says that the war bounty has been made permissible to me.
Savaş olduktan sonra o ganimetler ortaya konur. Açık bir yere bir ateş gelir gökyüzünden ona yakıp gider de onlar istifade etmezlerdi.
In former times, the other prophets were not allowed to benefit or leverage the war bounties. The bounty would be collected in former times in a single place, and then there would be a strike from heavens that would put that bounty into fire. But with our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, Allah Almighty allowed him to benefit from the war bounty.
Peygamber Efendimiz'in ümmetine ganimetler halal kılındı.
And thus it has been made permissible to our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and to the nation of our Prophet to benefit from the war bounty.
Yeryüzü benim için mescit ve temiz kılındı.
And our beloved Prophet then says another feature is that this whole world has been made clean for me to be a place of worship.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem yeryüzü Peygamberin hürmetine hem mescit hem temiz kılındı. Yani o
For the honor of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, Allah Almighty has made the soil of this world, the earth, to be clean, so that this entire world can serve as a place of worship for our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him.
daha önce öyle değildi. Peygamber Efendimiz'in hürmetine onun nuruna, onun şanına yakışarak bu toprak da temiz oldu. Daha önce temiz sayılmazdı.
And that is a distinguishable feature of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that with this advent, with this appearance of his light in this world, Allah Almighty has made this world and the soil of this world to be clean. In former times, the soil, the earth of this world would not be considered clean, but with the advent and the light of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, this the earthly soil was made clean so that it can be used as a place of worship.
Toprakla şey yapmak, teyemmüm etmek ya herhangi bir şey yapmak temizlik değildi.
So, for example, you're allowed to use soil, you're allowed to use the earth to cleanse yourself, and you may use the earth, the ground, to perform ablution when there is no water. This was not permitted before the times of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him.
Peygamber Efendimiz'in zamanında o hususiyet verdi yani. Daha önce olabilir toprak gene toprakla elini yıkasan filan temiz olmazdı. Şimdiki Peygamberimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem verilen o hususiyet temizlik yapıyor.
So this very special characteristic in Islamic terms to clean and to be pure and to purify and cleanse things has been made permissible with the advent of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, and it has been made permissible from a religious and Islamic perspective to clean something by using soil, by using ground.
Toprak her bakımdan temiz, hem abdeste hem gusül olarak su olmadığı yerde onlar temizdir.
When there is no water, you may use the ground, the earth, to clean yourself, to perform the minor ablution, or to also perform the major ablution if there's no water available.
Yapabiliyoruz. Bütün insanlığa gönderildi.
And our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, says, I have been sent as a messenger and prophet of Allah Almighty to all of humanity.
Eski peygamberler herkes velikül ümmeten had diyor. Her ümmete, her bir kavme peygamber ayrı ayrı gönderilirdi.
In former times, before our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, prophets and messengers of Allah Almighty would be sent not to all of humanity, but to their distinct and dedicated tribes, to their own people, and thus every own people had their own prophets.
Hepsine değil.
And there would no prophet before our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, was sent to all of humanity.
O kime memursa oraya gidecek. Şu şehre git.
Every prophet in former times had their own responsibility, their own designated area. They would be designated to a specific town.
Oranın insanlarını sen dinine davet et.
The former prophets would be designated to a certain tribe or to a certain people to invite them to Allah Almighty.
Öteki köye git, kasabaya git.
Or they would be sent to different villages.
Tayin edilerek onlara giderdi.
And thus prophets before our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, would be have their own designated areas, their own designated people.
Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem herkese ta kıyamete kadar.
But when it comes to our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, he has been sent as the messenger and the prophet to all of humanity up until the end of times, up until the last day.
Bütün dünyaya hem insanlara hem cinlere hidayet olarak hepsine umumi olarak.
And he has been sent as the prophet and messenger not only of all of humanity up until to the last day, but also he has been sent to all of the jinn too.
Gönderildi. Ve peygamberlik benimle son buldu.
And it was through me and with me that the prophethood has ended, our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, said.
O da peygamberimiz tabii, ondan sonra peygamber olmadığı için o 6. hususiyet peygamberimize gene veriyor.
And this is the sixth characteristics, that our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, is the seal of all prophets, that he has perfected prophethood and that he was the last of all prophets.
Vermiştir. Kâle Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem fadaltu alel enbiya bi khamsin ve'utu ilen nas kâffeten ve dekhartu şefa'atil ümmeti ve nusurtu bi râbe şehrin emâmi ve şehrin halfi ve cu'aletil ardu mesciden ve tahuran ve hillet li ganaim ve lem tehil li ahadin qabli. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki 5 şeyde diğer peygamberden daha üstün kılındım. Ben bütün insanlara peygamber olarak gönderdim.
And in this next hadith, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, continues to reiterate the major features that distinguish him from the previous prophets, and he states that unlike the prophets before, he has been sent as the prophet to all of humanity.
Yani kâffeten ve ammeten umum olarak bütün insanlara gönderildim. Öteki de peygamberler dediğimiz gibi sırf bazı bölgelere gönderildi, bazı memleketlere gönderildi, bazı kabilelere gönderildi. Peygamber Efendimiz'in hepsine, bütün kabile, memleket, şehir, kasaba, köy, kıyamete kadar bütün insanlara peygamber olarak gönderilmiştir.
Again, preceding prophets and messengers of Allah Almighty, they were sent to a certain group of people, they were sent to certain places, they were sent to certain cities, towns, and villages. But our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he was sent to the entirety of this world, to all of humanity.
Ona inanan şanslıdır, inanmayan badbahtır.
And those who believe in him and those who follow his way, they are the fortunate ones. And those who do not, they are the one who are not fortunate.
Şefaatimi ümmetim için sakladım. Şefaat, Peygamber Efendimiz'in şefaati dünyada isteseydi dünyada kullanırdı ama onun şefaati kıyamet günü için saklıyor Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, speaks in the following hadith about his powers and abilities given by Allah Almighty, and he says that he has reserved the ability and the power and authorization of intercession for the day of judgment. He could have applied his power of intercession given by Allah Almighty in this world, but he states in this hadith that he has reserved it for the day of judgment.
Ümmetini cehennemden kurtarsın diye.
In order to save his nation from hellfire.
Onu gene o özelliği Allah Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem vermiştir.
And this power of intercession is a feature and a characteristic that yet again distinguishes our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him.
Onu kıyamete saklaması için izin verilmiştir.
And Allah Almighty has granted him this request and has allowed him to reserve this power of intercession for the day of judgment and to apply it then.
Önümden bir aylık mesafeden, arkamdan bir aylık mesafeden düşmanların kalplerine korku vermekle bana yardım edildi. Yani düşman hem önündeki düşman korkuyor, hem arkadan gelip de vuracak olan insan, o da korkuyor, kalbinde korku var, gelemez.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes this very special feature that he is being supported by Allah Almighty, that when enemies or adversaries or opponents come near in order to fight him or when there is a war to be staged or there is a campaign, the enemies would be struck by fear through Allah Almighty even before they approached. And it's the enemies that would come from the front and also the enemies who would plan to attack him from behind, from either from the front or from the back. Those enemies would be struck by fear.
Hem bir ay mesafe yani buradan en azından Adana'ya kadar ya daha fazla olabilir.
And our beloved Prophet then describes the distance by when the enemies would be struck by fear, and he describes it as a distance of an entire month. So with a distance of an entire month, the enemies who would want to fight or come up against our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, would be struck by fear 1 month in a distance, 1 month in advance. And this is not just a timely distance, but also a spatial distance.
Benden önce hiçbir kimseye helal kılmadı. Dedi. Yeryüzü benim için mescit ve temiz kılındı.
And in the next, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, says that, again, he reiterates that this world, the ground of this world, has been made pure and clean for me, so that it serves as a place of worship.
Yani Peygamberimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem'in bereketine, onun yüzü hürmetine dünya mescit ve temiz olarak.
It is for the sake and for the honor and the blessing of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that Allah Almighty has made the ground of this world to be clean, so that it can place, so that this world, wherever you go, can serve as a masjid, as a place of worship for our Prophet.
Daha önce de mescitler mescit olduğu yerde kılması lazımdı.
In former times, people needed to perform their worship in designated places, in prescribed houses of worship.
Oradaki Peygamberimizden önceki insanlar yerleri var, mescit.
The prophets and the nations and the people before all our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, were required to perform their prayers not just anywhere, but there would be special houses or places of worship where they would perform their prayer.
Yahut mescit gibi olan yerlerde oradan kılması lazımdı. Peygamberimizin bütün dünya mescittir.
But now, with the advent of our Prophet, peace be upon him, you can pray anywhere.
Ganimetler bana helal kılındı. Benden hiçbir kimseye helal kılınmamıştır. Yani mesela gene aynı şekilde Peygamber Efendimizin yüzü hürmetine, onların istifade etmek için ümmetine helal kılınmıştır.
And again, our beloved Prophet emphasizes the point that the booty and the spoils of war have been made permissible to me and my nation.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فضلت بأربع جعلت الأرض مسجدا وطهورا فأيما رجل من أمتي أتى الصلاة فلم يجد ما يصلي عليه وجد الأرض مسجدا وطهورا وأرسلت إلى الناس كافة ونصرت بالرعب مسيرة شهرين يسير بين يدي يسير بين يدي وحلت لي الغنائم. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem gene buyuruyor ki 4 şeyde diğer peygamberin daha üstün kılındım.
And our beloved Prophet continues in the next hadith to describe the features that distinguish him compared to the previous prophets, and he speaks about 4 features.
Yeryüzü bizim için mescit ve temiz kılındı.
And again, one of these features is that this world has been the ground of this world has been made clear so that it can serve as a place of worship anywhere.
Ümmetimden herhangi bir kişi namaz kılmak istediği zaman üzerinde namaz kılacak bir şey bulmazsa yeri toprağı mescit ve temiz olarak bulur.
And so our beloved Prophet describes, peace be upon him, that if one of the members of my nation needs to perform their prayer and they may not have something to pray on, they're allowed to just pray on the bare soil or the bare ground.
Hem toprağın üstünde kılabilir, hem abdest yoksa oradan teyemmüm edebilir.
So our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, says that you may pray on the bare ground, and if there's no water available, you may also perform your ablution.
Ben bütün insanlara peygamber olarak gönderildim. Yani bütün hiçbir insan ve cin olarak gönderilmiştir Peygamber Efendimiz.
And our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, emphasizes again the point that he has been sent as the prophet, as the messenger to all of humanity, to all of jinn.
Ben bilmedim, etmedim. Herkes bilir onun peygamberliğini.
And there's no one who can deny and who can claim, I did not know that he was a prophet. Everyone knows, every individual knows that he is a prophet, peace be upon him.
Önümden 2 aylık mesafede gidenlere, düşmanlara korku verilmekle bana yardım edildi. Ve ganimetler bana helal kılındı.
And again, our beloved prophet states the point that he is supported by Allah Almighty, that Allah Almighty strikes those with fear against who the prophet will be fighting in a distance of 2 months. And our beloved prophet states that war booty has been made permissible to him.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فضلت بأربع جعلت أنا وأمتي في الصلاة كما تصف الملائكة وجعل الصعيد لي وضوءا وجعلت لي الأرض مسجدا وطهورا وحلت لي الغنائم. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki 4 şeyde diğer peygamberlerden daha üstün kılındım.
And our beloved prophet continues in the following hadith to mention the four features that distinguish him compared to the previous prophets, peace be upon them all.
Ben ve ümmetim namazda melekler saf tuttuğu gibi diziliriz. Melekler saf tutarlar. Mevlid'de dediği gibi saf tutar.
And one of those features that distinguish me and my nation, our beloved prophet says, peace be upon him, is that when my nation and I stand for prayer, we stand in rows, just as the angels stand in rows.
Bizim namazda durduğumuz onlara benzer. Saf olarak, düzgün olarak durmamız.
And the way we stand in rows when we perform our prayer, that is the same way the angels gather for prayer.
Meleklere benzer. Başkalarında yoktu bu.
And this is a characteristic and the way and style of praying that was not present before our beloved prophet, peace be upon him.
Toprak bana temizleyici kılındı. Yer bana mescit ve temiz kılındı. Ganimetler bana helal kılındı.
The soil has been made for me a means to clean myself. The soil has been made clean to be a place of worship for me. And the war booty has been made permissible.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم سبع مواطن لا تجوز فيها الصلاة ظاهر بيت الله والمقبرة والمزبلة والمجزرة والحمام وعطن الإبن ومحجة الطريق. Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Kabe'nin damında, mezarlıkta, yani şeyin içinde, mezarlıkların içinde, çöplükte, mezbahanede, hamamda ve deve yatağında ve yol ortasında olmak üzere 7 yerde namaz kılmak caiz değildir diyor Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki sallu fi marabidil ganem ve la tusallu fi a'tan ibil. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki koyun ağlarında namaz kılın. Ancak deve yataklarında kılmayın. Yani ikisi de mübarek hayvan ama demek Allah'ın hikmeti koyun yeri daha temiz olarak ötekisi devenin olduğu kılınmaz diyor.
And our beloved prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes the places where to perform or where not to perform worship. So you may not perform worship on top of the Kaaba or within graveyards, or you may not perform worship in the places of camels, where camels stay, but you may, for example, perform worship in the places of sheep. So the camel and the sheep, they are all blessed animals, but it is not permissible to pray in the place of the camels, but it's permissible to pray in the place of the sheep.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلوا في مرابض الغنم ولا تصلوا في أعطان الإبل فإنها خلقت من الشياطين. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki koyun ağlarında namaz kılın ancak deve yataklarında kılmayın. Çünkü onlar develer şeytanlardan yaratılmıştır. Yani Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem koyunların ağlarına kılın ama deve demek ki şeytandan nasıl Allah'ın hikmeti yaratılmış. Onun için orada kılmayın diyor.
And our beloved prophet again emphasizes that you may perform prayer in the shelter, in the place where sheep stay, but you may not perform prayer in the place or shelter where the camels stay.
Çarpılırsınız.
Because it's been made of the devils. Our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, says, if you pray there where the camels stay, you may be struck by the devils. And it's the wisdom of Allah Almighty, how the way things have been created there.
قال رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم صلوا في مرابط الغنم ولا تودؤوا من ألبانها ولا توضؤوا من ألبانها ولا تصلوا في معاطي الإبل وتوضؤوا من ألبانها. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki koyun yatak ağlarında namaz kılın. Ancak koyunun sütünden abdest almayın diyor. Yani süt var, ondan abdest almayın. Yok, olmaz diyor Peygamber.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes that you may perform worship in the place where sheep stay, but if you do not find water, you are not allowed to use the milk of sheep to perform ablution.
Deve yataklarında ise namaz kılmayın ve sütlerinden içmekten dolayı abdest alın. Yani devenin yattığı yere namaz caiz değil ama
it's not permissible to perform prayer in the place where camels sleep, stay.
Sütünden abdest almak caizdir.
And when you drink milk, camel milk, it is said to perform ablution afterwards.
Allah'ın hikmeti.
And this is Allah Almighty's wisdom.
Her şeyde bir hikmet var yani.
There is a wisdom behind everything.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem'in bütün sözleri milyonlarca hikmet var.
There is a reason and a wisdom, millions of wisdoms behind every single saying of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him.
Allah alem hikmetinden. Kâle Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem nehâ nisrâ alel kubur. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Resulullah mezarlara doğru namaz kılmayı yasaklamıştır.
And our beloved Prophet it is prohibited to perform worship in direction of the graveyards.
Yani mesela mezarlıkta olsan açık yer verse olur ama onun kabre karşı ya onun karşı bir şey koymak lazım ki yapmasın diye.
So if you are in a graveyard and there's prayer to perform, then you should pay attention not to pray in direction of a grave. You should you should try to distance oneself of the grave or put something in between of yourself and the grave, but you may not pray in direction of a direct grave.
Caiz olsun diye. Sadaka Resulullah fîmâ kâle ve kemâ kâle. Ziyâden min şerefin Nebi sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem ve âlihi ve ashabil kiram ve ilâ arvâh cemî'il enbiyâ vel murselîn khudamâ şerâ'ihim ve ilâ arvâhil a'immetil arba'a وإلى أرواح مشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العلية خاصة إمام طريقة غوث الخليفة خواجة بهاءالدين محمد ويس البخاري سيدنا أبو خالد الجواني مولانا شيخ شرف الدين داغستاني مولانا شيخ الله فاز داغستاني مولانا شيخ محمد ناظر العزيز الحقاني وسائر ساداتنا والصديقين ومن حفاظاتهم وجوارهم حسين الزكاة رفاقا حاج مصطفى ترابي جملة من الجيش مشترك شهيد شهادة الله تعالى الفاتحة.